Hi, this is Chad Prentice with CMP Spray Systems. Today we're going to hook up one of my shore power rigs. Doing this video so that it'll be somewhat of a tutorial to my customers. But first we're going to hook up, this is our main breaker panel. Most homes and businesses will have this. This is single phase 220 or 240 volt system. If it is three phase, you need to know what you're doing and find out which leg is the 240 leg. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't ever hook up to a three phase box. But if you do, then just test and find the three phase. But this one is not, it's single phase. But the type, I always include all the breakers you need. This is a GE style breaker, but the green wire is your ground / neutral. Some customers might get confused, but your white wire is a hot wire on my cord. White and black on the breaker, green wire on the ground or neutral, what we call, bus bar or whatever you want to call it. But anyways, so I've already loosened up a screw right here, and basically all you got to do is stick the wire in there and tighten the screw down on it. Make sure you get it in there snug, and make sure it doesn't come out. And then different breakers snap in different ways, but this GE style has a groove on the back, so I'm just gonna like that, and then push get the back in first, and then push the front where it locks in. Flip it on. Follow me out here. I have a cord ran into your trailer. This is a 160 foot or something like that, and the cord is powering up a sub panel in the trailer. So your main breaker is feeding power to here. So you want to flip all these breakers on. I'm doing this. This is the proper steps you would take if you were to start up one of my shore power rigs, one of these type of machines, or even the Boss machine. But you want to flip on all the breakers, and then make sure your air dryer is on, and then you got to turn on your compressor. It might get a little loud. Let's see what happens. So we're going to go through all the steps that you need to do when you first warm it up in the mornings, and make sure you know how to do it properly. That shouldn't take long. Alright, well, for sake of noise I'm going to turn it off, but it's full of, you always let your compressor, first thing is to fill your compressor up completely, because everything is air powered. Your machine is air powered, your stick pumps, your gun. I mean, you don't want to start out at 50 pounds and then start doing everything. On this particular rig, and what I'm probably going to be doing from now on, is using these Graco T3s. That's 3 to 1. So you put 50 pounds of air to it, you're getting 150 pounds of fluid, which is plenty. So they have regulators on them, so I'm setting them at 50 PSI. But if you have a regular IPM 1 to 1, you just plug them straight in, there's no regulator. But what I'm going to do, now that we've powered up the system, we've cranked up our compressor and built up air, then I'm going to come over here and turn on my valve here that feeds air to all my system. It goes through a regulator that I'm keeping at about 100 PSI right here, and it runs through my 50 CFM air dryer, and that feeds the machine, and coming off the machine is feeding the air to all the stick pumps, mixers and whatnot. If you're in open cell, of course, you want to turn on your mixer and mix. Right now we're just in hydraulic fluid for the sake of showing you how to crank up the machine properly. So the first step after the air is on and you're ready to go is to turn on your valves on the back of the machine. This is your main valve. And then you have recirc valves on the front of this one. On the Boss machine, they'd be over on the left side, or sometimes they're on both sides, but the recirc valve or a pressure relief valve, people call them different things. But if we turn these on, then the stick pumps, because they're plugged in already, will automatically come on. And as you can see, they're pretty powerful stick pumps. They're even blowing my deal off the wall. But that would get your stuff running through. And if you're going to be dogging open cell, you would turn this cylinder switch on, and then just give it a little bit of air. You don't have to have a whole lot, just a little bit, so it moves about that speed going up and down. And once you warmed up, here's your control, pretty simple. You just turn on your A and B to warm up the barrels. But if you're gonna warm up the hose, let me quieten everything down. If you're gonna warm up the hose, you need to unroll it all the way before you warm it up. That way heat doesn't build up on the lower sections of the hose. You don't want a bunch of heat building up on these bottom sections and getting the hose too hot. So you unroll this hose. I'm not going to, for a simple reason. It's pain and there's no really reasons. Just remember, unroll the hose all the way before you turn it on. But turning on your heaters is just simply that. And to adjust the temperature, you see this up arrow right here. You can push that and it'll tell you what it's set for, and you can either go up or down. I mean, pretty simple. That's all you got to do. Just punch it where it starts blinking and either go up or down with your temperature. Hose heat, same thing. But remember, if you're going to warm your hose up, make sure you unroll it all the way so it doesn't get too hot. This is a 150-foot hose on this particular rig. So we open up our circulation valves, and y'all just seen it circulating. We had our air just barely on, and we've warmed up our barrels. Theoretically, right now we've warmed up our barrels, and we need to pressure up. So we close these valves, which I've already done to save the noise. And you go back over here and turn on this switch. Of course, all your heaters are going to be on. You turn on this switch, and then this is your regulator that feeds air to this Parker air motor. So we're just going to crank up the air pressure, but we're really going to watch the iso and resin A and B pressure here. And the more air you give it, the more pressure it's going to build up in the line. And I like spraying around 12 to 1500 psi. So there's 1500 psi. So we're warmed up. We've already mixed our stuff, our B side on our open cell. If it's open cell, we've warmed up our barrels. Never warm up closed cell. Don't do that. It's going to froth and be all over the place. You can't warm it up by circulating. You can warm it up with a band heater or something like that, but don't want to warm it up using the machine and everything. So, proper gun usage here for the Boss gun. First step, turn on the air. Next step, to open up these, what we call needle valves. And you don't want to be looking right at it because that could leak and squirt you right in the eye. So you want to hold it away from you like that and just crack it, make sure there's no leak, and then open it all the way. You don't have to goose it open, you just till it stops. And then you want to open the A side here. A and B, it don't matter which one first. But valves are open. I got air coming out the tip. That's a good thing to check. Here's the safety. You got to push in, twist to the left, and it'll pull out like that, and that's safety off. And I'm ready to spray. So we're spraying foam all day long. So when we're done spraying foam, first step is to close the needle valves. And you don't have to goose down on them real hard just till they stop. And then we want to relieve the pressure that's inside the gun by making sure the safety's off. And then you see that little bit of spit. I usually just do it a couple times like that until the fluid inside the block, there's still 1,500 pounds in there. Even though we closed the valves, there's still 1,500 pounds of pressure in here. We let that out, put it on safety, and then I don't know if I have one sitting out. We don't have one sitting out right at the moment. But your gun comes with a grease gun. So as soon as you bleed that pressure off, you turn the valves off and you bleed the pressure off the gun like I just showed you, then you want to take that grease gun, and there's a port right here on the side. You want to stick it on there and squeeze it a couple times so you see a little bit of grease come out the tip. And when you do that, then you can shut your air off and you're done. That's proper gun maintenance. So I hope this video is educational enough to help you kind of walk through the different steps of cranking it up and shutting it down. It's pretty simple. If you have any questions, call me at 936-558-3307. That's 936-558-3307. Thank you.